After looking at how to get data from web, we are going to look at how to get data from file in the system. So this is how to do that. You open a new Excel worksheet. If you want to do your analysis, if you want to carry out any analysis, we always open a fresh Excel workbook. So you go to data, then get data from file from workbook. Then you locate where the file is. If you're doing this course, I will advise you create a folder on the desktop, then put every file you want to work on one place. Every file or the data set you want to work on, put it in the folder you created. So I'm going to look for the folder that I created for the class. I'm going to look at customer service dataset. So you click on it and you say import. Click on the sheet, it will preview it. This is the dataset. So because we want to clean it, there are things that I want to remove, unwanted data that are not needed in the analysis. So we are going to expunge it from the data set. So because of that, I'm going to click on transform data. And like I said before, transform data also means clean data, or you can say data transformation or data cleaning. So click on transform data and it will take you to a tool in Excel called Power Query. So this is Power Query. If you see what is written here, it's a Power Query editor. So this is a tool in Excel used for data cleaning. There is no other way you can clean data in Excel apart from using Power Query. So before we clean, we are going to look at the objective. What are we going to get from this data set? What do we want to get from it? If it is a data set sent to you by an organization and you want to work on, it means you're going to get the objective from them, or you discuss with them what they want to get from the data set, then you draft the objective. These are ways to go about it. So we're going to get the objective. So you look at the objectives of the data set. Why are you looking at the objective? You look at the objective because this will guide you on what to remove from the data or what to add to the data set. You can add to the data set. What can you add? Like some column, if there's need to multiply or to do some addition or to do some multiplication or division, something like that. So if it requires you to add anything, you add. If there are columns or rows you don't need, which we will also see in the data set, then you remove them. So that's the reason why you must look at the objective before you clean a data set. Okay, so let's go back to the data set. Now we have this column null, two rows before the header, and we also have a row that has dash and all that and all that. So all these are not needed, especially the null. So we are going to remove this column. So how to remove a column? Click on the header. We have click on the header, and you right click, you will see remove. And once you click remove, it will be removed. Then that's how to remove a column. These two rows, the dash and the one on top, scroll to the end to see whether there are values on the other side that you don't see before you remove them. So this one is empty. Now, Power Query recognizes empty cell as null. So when once you see null in Power Query, you know that that cell is empty. So we are going to remove this. So how to remove a row? Go to remove rows, remove top rows or bottom rows or alternate rows, duplicate blank rows and all that. Now we can just click on blank rows to remove it, but I want us to use the top row first. So remove top rows. How many rows you want to remove on top? One. So you type 1 and you click OK. That row on top will go. Now we want to use this row that has the column header as headers. You see column 2, column 3, column 4 showing as the header in this Power Query. So we want to use the real header that came with the dataset as the column header. So how do we do that? There is a button here called use first row as headers. So once you click on the arrow, see use first row as headers, click on it and it will jump into the appropriate position. So we want to remove all other rows that are not needed. This other null row, we'll remove it. This null row, we'll remove it. This other 3.9 out of 5, we'll remove it, and all other ones. So the fastest way to remove rows in between a dataset is to click on the arrow here. And once you click on it, now all the rows that are empty, the Power Query will identify it as null. So if you uncheck it and also scroll to other ones you want to remove, all these other one, this one with line, you uncheck it. So uncheck all other ones, uncheck all other ones, uncheck all other ones. So if there are many, you scroll to the end to see the end of it. So we have unchecked all other rows we don't need. So we click on OK, and automatically all the rows that we have unchecked will disappear. So that is one way to remove the rows in between the data set. Now you still have some null, some empty cells. So if you have this, how will you tackle it? Will you remove the row? No, you're not going to remove the row. You're going to remove this null. So copy it, Ctrl C will copy it. So this will move us to what we call replace values. You cannot write or type anything in Power Query. It is not like the Excel background where you type and delete. No, you cannot type, you cannot write anything. So in order to put something, you have to remove something or replace the empty cell with something else. So if you want to replace an empty cell, you're going to use replace value. If you're going to replace a value with empty cell, you're also going to use replace values. So we want to replace all the empty cell with nothing. Okay, the close date, we don't really need it. We don't really need, so let's take out this column, remove, so it remains or only customer rating. So you click on the null, Ctrl C to copy, then you go to replace values. Click on replace values and okay, because I didn't click the row, that's why the null appear there. But if I click on the role, why you need to click on the role is to apply what you're doing to the role. If you click on only the null, it means what you click on will just be removed. Then if there are other ones that you don't see, it will remain there. So it's better you click on the role, then go to replace value, then paste what you want to remove, that's value to find. Then what do we want to replace it with? Nothing. We want the cell to be empty like that. Then you click on OK, and that is done. So we have replaced value. Now you also have to check by clicking on the arrow and check whether you have anything you need to correct. Click and check. If you have duplicate, you will remove the duplicate and all that, so you can check all from the beginning to the end. Now this also leads us to what is called change data type. Now what is data type? Each of the column has a data type. Date is different from text. Text is different from number. Number, that's whole number. Number is different from currency. So how will you know the data type? If you check the top left hand side of every column, you will see the data type. So this one is ABC and 123, which is alphanumeric data. You have text here and you have number here. So we will allow it to be so. Then this one ABCD is text, ABCD is text. So let us go to date. Now you have open date. This should be in proper date format. So we have to change this data type from text to date. So the ABC shows that it is text. So why must you change it? The reason why you will change it is when you're doing your analysis, if it is in text and you want to look at the date and month and year, if it is in text, you cannot get month, you cannot get quarter, you cannot get year automatically. It would appear one by one. The date will appear individually, so it will not recognize it as a date. But if you change it to date, the date data type, you can get month from there, you can get quarter and year automatically without you changing anything. So that's why you need to change date that is in text format to a date format. So how will you do that? Click on the data type symbol. All the data type will come out, decimal, currency and all that. So you want to change it to date, you click on date. You have changed it to date already. Now in case you want to change the date and you see some errors, it means all the dates are not in the same format. Now how will you put that? Some will be showing error. Then if some shows error, you will go back, you cancel the step. How will you cancel the step? If you see here, you see applied steps. Every step you have taken is showing under applied step. So you're going to cancel the step. If as I've cancelled the step, the date that I changed before has returned back the text format that it was. So once you cancel it, you go to file, then you go to option and you go to query option. Then you go to regional setting and choose the date. So I always like to choose United States because I love United States. So if you choose United States and you say OK, then you go back to change the data type to date. So why you cannot see anything as if it has changed now, because all the date format is one. So in case you have errors in other data set you want to treat, do this and it will correct that. So that is that. So that is what we have to change. So we are done with cleaning this data. All other information remain the same. Okay, let me also show you what to do if you want to change from uppercase to lowercase. If you want to change from uppercase to lowercase, let's use this as an example. Click on the column header, right click, and you say transform. And once you put your cursor to transform, it will bring lowercase, uppercase, and all of them. Capitalize each word. Trim. Trim means to remove space, unwanted spaces, if it is at the beginning or at the end or at the middle. If you click on trim, it will just trim your column. So we want uppercase. So all of them has turned to uppercase. We don't actually want uppercase, but I'm just using this as an example. So I'm going to cancel that step. So I've shown you how to change from lowercase to uppercase. So that's what I will have to show you on this data set. When you are done with everything you have to do, you now load it into Excel. From this, close and load, click on the arrow, then you see close and load. And once you click on close and load, it will come in as a clean data set. So from here, you can proceed to your analysis.